Many diabetics are surprised to learn that not all fruits are created equally when it comes to sugar content. Sure, fruits are healthy. They have lots of health benefits like containing essential vitamins, antioxidants, minerals. They even have fiber, which can actually aid in the regulation of blood sugar. But if you're diabetic, you have to be careful because some fruits can hit your blood sugar harder than a candy bar. If you are diabetic, you can eat fruit, but you must be careful to choose the right fruits. Which high sugar fruits to avoid if you have diabetes? Number 5, mangoes. Yes, these sweet, sweet, tangy mangoes. This is another high sugar fruit to avoid if you have diabetes. Why are mangoes a bad choice? Because of their glycemic profile and metabolic implications. So just one mango fruit has 36 grams of sugar. And you know that's a lot of sugar. Combine that with its high glycemic index. The glycemic index is between 51 and 60. And so if you consume this sweet fruit, then you will have very high spikes in your blood sugar very quickly, okay? You'll absorb the glucose just really rapidly. And you know that's difficult to do and maintain good diabetes control. Don't worry, I have a healthy alternative, blueberries. Yes, blueberries are tangy and sweet and tart and delicious, just like mangoes. Here are some blueberries. Look, you really can't go wrong with any of these berries. But blueberries in particular have a glycemic index of 28 to 40 and only 7 grams of sugar per serving. They're also loaded with antioxidants, and blueberries are high in fiber, which you know helps to slow down the absorption of glucose. So if you have diabetes, please get very familiar with these berries because they are a healthy alternative. Did one of my blueberries just roll away? No, it didn't. Anyway, blueberries are a healthy alternative if you have diabetes. What's your favorite low glycemic index fruit for a sweet treat? Please comment down below. Number 6, dried fruits like raisins or like the dried cranberries I have here. Here's the issue. When you have dried fruits, they're dehydrated, so water is removed, and that gives you a higher density of sugar per serving. So a handful of cranberries will have much less sugar than a handful of dried cranberries. Because why? They're more concentrated. And so you really have to be careful because it's easy to eat a lot of these dried fruits, which can really give you a rapid increase in your blood sugar levels. The glycemic index of dried fruits is pretty high also, up to 64. And so you need to look for another healthy alternative. And guess what? I've got one. Fresh figs are a healthy alternative. They have a lower glycemic index than dried fruits and than dried figs. Their glycemic index is about 35, and they have 8 grams of sugar per medium-sized fig. The fact that they have more water content means that it slows down the absorption of sugar as compared to dried figs. Fresh cranberries are a healthier alternative as compared to dried cranberries. They have a lower glycemic index of about 45, which certainly can help to slow down the rapid absorption of glucose that you'll get with dried cranberries. Fresh apricots are another healthy alternative as compared to dried apricots. Fresh apricots have a lower glycemic index of about 34 and about 3 grams of sugar per apricot. They have a greater water content than a dried apricot, which again will help to maintain a more stable blood sugar level. So you see, we've got options. Even if you are living with diabetes, you've got options. Number 7 is not going to surprise you. Sweet cherries. You know these sweet cherries, the kind that float in Shirley Temples or in different little drinks that have umbrellas in them. Sweet cherries. It's almost a shame that they call them an actual fruit. Listen, they should call them candy. Why are sweet cherries a bad choice? Because of the sugar to fiber ratio. It's atrocious. These things are loaded down with sugar and not that much fiber. They have a high glycemic index, and there are about 18 grams of sugar per cup when it comes to these sugary cherries. You know this is more like candy than fruit, but don't worry. You know we have alternatives. Raspberries. Yes. Do you know what's the theme with berries? Yeah, these berries tend to be pretty good. Raspberries have a nice amount of fiber, which we know helps to slow down the absorption of glucose into your blood. So that's good. Raspberries also have antioxidants, and they're sweet and they're tart and they're delicious, just like cherries. So if you have diabetes, please avoid these red devils in a red dress of sweet cherries and make sure you have berries as your alternative. Which high sugar fruit on this list caught you off guard and why? Please comment down below. There you have it. 7 of the high sugar fruits that can get you into trouble if you have diabetes or pre-diabetes or if you're trying to avoid diabetes. But don't worry, I didn't make this video in order to upset you. I made it to empower you because I recognize that I have some fan favorites when it comes to fruits. Just remember, knowledge is power. As long as you know that these fruits have a high glycemic index and they might cause a spike in your blood sugar, then you're empowered to make certain decisions. You can avoid the fruits altogether, or you can be very, very careful as far as your serving size and have portion control. Or you can also, if you want to splurge and have a little sweet treat, you can make sure you pair it with fiber or pair it with protein or pair it with something that's going to slow down the absorption of that sugar. You see, knowledge is power. That's what I'm trying to do here.